Now. So, welcome everybody to today's product webinar. The topic is Write, Download and Share Your Scenarios Online. The SpecFlow Gherkin Editor. I'm Andreas Willich, I'm the Community Manager of SpecFlow, and today our user journey engineer Jordan Western is with me, and we want to show you the new cool Gherkin Editor we worked on the last weeks and months. Before we jump into the topics, some things before. For questions, please use the Q&A tool. You have somewhere down here a button. You can also upvote questions if you find interesting ones. This helps us to have an overview over the questions and to be sure that we answered them and nothing is lost. We try, if it's relevant to the current topic, we'll try to answer them at once, but there will be a dedicated Q&A section at the end. And this time, perhaps a little bit more than usual, we have multiple polls during the webinar, because we want to use this opportunity also to get some input from you all for our future development on the Gherkin Editor, and we're using this opportunity to get some input for that. It's a little bit more than usual. I think we have 4 polls in sum, and let's start with the first one already. We would like simply to know in which role you're working currently in the team. It's also interesting for the other poll questions for us, for the data. Okay, answers are coming in. Thank you all. Okay, we have a lot of testers today. Cool. Some product owners, business analysts also. Good. So let's jump really into the topic. So, short summary how writing scenarios works up to now. You're writing it in your IDEs. You're writing Visual Studio Code, or in JetBrains Writer. There we can use it. So you use Word or Google Docs to write your scenarios, or you write it directly into your issue track, like I have here on the left side, Azure DevOps, or Jira on the right side. Or perhaps you already used our old SpecFlow Gherkin Editor. Yes, we had an old one. Looked a little bit like this, and that was the options up until now. And we are already at the second poll. It's about which of these did you use until now, and when you used it, what were your biggest frustration when you were using them? Because these frustrations is something we want to solve. Okay, a lot of people are using IDEs or their issue tracker. Cool. That's and
cool.
Answers are coming in. Yeah, John.
We'll end it there. Yeah.
Yeah, please, and quickly share it. So good. My assumptions were somehow true, so I thought nobody is using Word or Excel or Google Docs for writing scenarios. I should have made a bet on that. So a lot of, mainly in IDE, some in Azure DevOps, some other. And biggest frustration is, you're using existing feature file steps, understandable, feedback, and collaborative editing on feature files. That's not really that possible at the moment. Let's see what from these frustrations we already can solve a little bit. And solve is, solve. In BDD, behavior-driven development, we have these 3 or 4 phases. The second one is formulation. That's where talking about writing scenarios. And let's see where the future for this collaborative formulation brings us. And it brings us to a new SpecFlow Gherkin Editor. Looks a little bit
Definitely
the
more
same,
modern.
like, pardon?
Modern. Looks
A
more
little
modern.
bit modern, yes. But it's in the core, it's still the same. Editor like before. We added some features, but we did a lot of stuff around this. And no, it's not yet time for the next poll. I now want to show you the thing in action. So let's go to the demo and back away from the slides. So probably start all here then. It's our product page. I paste the link, and there you have the get started link to get in our new Gherkin editor. So as Jordan said, a little bit modern. You get automatically a template, a default scenario that you all see what's possible. So we have our feature. We have our feature with calculator name. One thing here is, here you see already the file name. This is the file name. So we're using the title of the feature file as calculator as a file name already. Then you have your normal Gherkin. So you have your feature description. You have your scenarios with given, when, then, tags. You see, it's syntax highlighting is here. Also for parameters, for the keywords, you have line numbers. What you also have is support for different languages. So default is English, but we have also support for German, Spanish, French, and Dutch.
Yep.
Here, what we also have is undo redo support included. A nice shortcut to copy the whole feature file into your clipboard to get it here, or if you want, then later when you wrote it here, add it to your solution. There's a download button that you can get the feature file there. We also have some first version of IntelliSense autocomplete with keywords, and so there's the first start here, and yeah, that's the basic functionality from editor. But yeah, it's a little bit where's the advancement around this. This was also the features that the old Gherkin editor had. So what we created now around is you can now save these feature files online and continue working on it. Don't have always to paste file content into the web. Now you can save it online. For that, you simply need to sign in. And something new, so for this you need a SpecFlow account, and up until now you are only able to use you needed a Microsoft account to get a SpecFlow account as authentication. Since today, for the Gherkin editor, you have also the possibility to sign in with email and password and create also an account. So I don't click now sign in with Microsoft. I say create an account and create here a new account with first name, last name. Now I need an email address. One moment, I have there some throwaway email addresses, so I fill out the usual steps what you know from when you already created a SpecFlow account. Let's enter a password. Accepting terms and conditions, happy to receive mails, create account. Because of legal reasons, we now need to wait for confirmation. So I got this already. Copy the link. It's verified, we can close it, and here we already it refreshed and it's already saved. You see it here, the save button is a save. We have here are logged in, and we now have here feature files here. Because now as we are logged in and all the saving happens online, yeah, we can't only save one file, we can save multiple files. And now you have access to this list of feature files where you can create also multiple new. Onboarding webinar, and you see again the file name is the feature title. Scenario something. And then you can start writing your feature files. So, and
Andy,
yeah,
just
the nice, yep.
sorry, just very quickly, there's a question about language support. So if Raphael says, do you think including Portuguese among the languages? Not sure what the strategy is for that.
Also, I will let the team know that there is request for Portuguese. This list was the 5 most used languages what we knew from our data, and that from there we selected these languages. Simply it's a little bit of work to add support for additional language, so we stopped some when. I will let the team know that there is a request for Portuguese, and let's see how quickly they can add it. Good. So back to the feature file. So yeah, because we're logged in, and if you had a SpecFlow account and have problems in the past with your Microsoft account because of your corporate policies or so, now you can use email address and password for login to get started easy. It's currently only supported for the Gherkin editor. For the other products, as far as I know, you still only have the option to use the Microsoft account. Let's have a quick save stay. Let's save this feature file, go back to the feature list, and yeah, we now have it here, and it's a usual list from files. So we have last modified, timestamp. These things will be fixed, so team is working already on that. You see modified by, you have here a access level, and to that in a moment. And you can also delete and download here the files. And yeah, that's the single user experience, I would say, of the Gherkin editor. But I talked about the future in collaboration, and let's have a look at the features that brings us in the Gherkin editor for that. But before that, let's start the next poll. What is all about collaboration? Before we get into the features. That's a longer one. So three questions. Sorry for all these polls. We really want to make a product that helps you all, and for that we need input. To have data, and that we design the features in a way that it will help you. Only the use case we have in mind is perhaps not always the use case and the way you are working.
Okay, just wait for a few more to come in.
Yeah, it's 3 questions, so let's give the people a moment.
Yep, looks like we've slowed down, so I'll end it there.
Yeah, and let's quickly share. So a lot of shared is with developers and testers and product owners, managers. That's cool. Also some internal stakeholders. Okay, nobody is sharing it with external stakeholders. That's interesting. And then how often? Daily, weekly is good. Monthly, a few times a year. No collaboration at all. Sorry for that. How to collaborate with your team or stakeholders. Write them together. Giving async feedback. Individual tag changes to the feature files. Okay, quite a mix. Interesting. Thank you all for answering this. This will help our usability experts to design the feature. So, now back to collaboration. So, I mentioned it, there's an access level, and perhaps somebody of you already saw it. There's a share button here. And what you can do is, it's online. You can share this feature file with other people. And you have the multiple options. The standard is only me. But you can share it that the other ones can edit it also, or that they have only a read-only view of the feature file, can view. So when I say it's can view, I have the link here, and now let's make this editable. It's the same link, so now I get a second browser. Here I'm so on the left side, this is where I logged in with username and password, and on the right side I'm logged in with my Microsoft account. And when I open now here the link, the share link I got from here, I have the same feature file open. Let's prove it. This is the same file. I save it, and then I refresh it here. It's here, and this change is done by a Microsoft account. We save it here, and it's refreshed here. So it's not yet editing at the same time, but multiple people can now work on the same feature files. Last one who pressed saved wins. And when you go back to the feature file overview, you see both users are called Andreas Willich, so you don't see the difference now. No, there I'm Andreas W, and here's I'm Andreas Willich, so that's the difference. This is first step in here. What I also can do is now I change this to read only back, and when I'm refreshing here, I can't edit this feature file anymore. So that's an option what you could do depending on how you work with your team. You have now a link with the feature file. You can paste this in your issue tracking system, in your team, send it by mail, the link, and the people can have a look at it. And if it's on the readable only, they can't edit it. If it's writable, they can edit it by themselves. Or what they can do is, if it's read only, they have here an open copy. Now the feature file is copied over. So I do something that's not best practice. I call it V2 and save it. And now I have in the feature files my calculator V2. What is now a complete separate copy. It isn't shared anymore. And yeah, all the features for that, and that's the cool stuff. Now you have this shareable link to get to give easier access to your feature files and your feature file drafts. So if you're in formulation phase, it's probably not yet in a Git repo, in a source control repo, your feature files, but you're working on it, and you have now here a drafting space where you can work with your team on finalizing the formulation of the feature file. And yeah, that's from here, from the share features. And you have lots of we have one last poll. What is about the sharing? So let's quickly share that, and we simply want to know how do you share currently your feature files with other people. And this is the last poll for today.
Just
That's
quickly,
the
Andy.
last question we are asking you. Then it's all about that we answer questions.
Just while people are filling that out,
Yeah.
Andy. There's one that's been upvoted. Question about security concerns about storing the feature files on SpecFlow servers. So the question is, lots of clients we work with have security concerns about cloud services. Storing detailed feature files on SpecFlow servers would raise a lot of red flags. Can you talk about what you're doing to ensure security of these files?
Sure. Let's, as it's poll is nearly finished and it takes a little bit longer to answer this question. Let's go to this. Let's answer this in the Q&A section. Some 3 slides I think I have, and then we are there.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for the results. Okay, you're currently sharing direct repository links, or you're using SpecFlow plus Living Doc. That's also nice to hear that SpecFlow plus Living Doc is used. Good. Back to the slides. So we had the poll, writing, sharing, poll. So quickly, currently has also some limitations that I didn't show, or I showed you. You saw it only supports the 5 languages at the moment. There's also a limit of 25 feature files that you can save, and each of these files can have maximum 5,000 characters. We are in the start of this, and thought about having some limitations. Let's see how it's used, and it solves some problems in implementation that we don't want to spend currently time on. I want also to give you a little bit what is coming next, little bit clips in the future. So we have three I think very cool features on the backlog. The first is write and edit in Gherkin feature files directly from a Git repository. So you connect this Gherkin editor with your files directly from a Git repository. In both ways. That's cool to make this workflow even easier. Don't need to download stuff and so. The next one, and I saw already a prototype for it, is really real-time collaboration on Gherkin feature files by multiple users. So you can edit the same feature file at the same time. That's very cool. And we will want to support also dark mode in it. Yeah, I think we are still looking for color codes, but this is coming. For more information about our roadmap, we have a public roadmap under this link, and there's all the public roadmap also, not only for now the Gherkin editor, but all our SpecFlow products is there available. And yeah, that was from my slides, and now go to the questions and answers. So let's take the one that I postponed about the security concerns, cloud service. Yes, we are aware of this. Already some people talked about this with us. So security-wise, we are doing the usual stuff: pen testing, security testing of the product, of the infrastructure. Can't go into, because of security reason, I can't go into more detail there. But we are following there the best practices. And for privacy and all the stuff, it's what's in our privacy policy and stuff. We aren't really interested what you are writing in your feature file. So that's we are not interested in any way what you have in this feature files. If there are some concrete questions and issues, please reach to us to our support at SpecFlow.org, or open a ticket on support SpecFlow.org, and we'll come then back back to you with answers if you have concrete questions or problems with stuff in our privacy policy and terms and conditions. Hope this answered somehow the question. Good. Next one.
Do you want me to go through them?
Yes,
I'll go through them.
Moderating.
Okay, there's the next one that's been the most upvoted is from Santosh. Any roadmap in implementing the offline Gherkin editor?
Not dedicated tool for that. I would say use Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio, JetBrains Writer with the extensions for that. I don't see a need there for having a dedicated Gherkin editor. Visual Studio Code with some plugins. We have documentation for all 3 IDEs on our website, how to configure it, that you can work with SpecFlow there. Personally, I don't see a need for a dedicated tool.
Very good.
Offline dedicated tool.
The next one is from an anonymous attendee. I am an iOS and Mac OS developer. This is not related to the session, but I have a question related to SpecFlow support for Mac OS. When do we get the full support on Visual Studio for Mac?
That is, sadly, I can't give you a good answer for that, but I can point you in the right direction. So for feature requests like this, we have in our community forum a feature request board where you can upvote the different feature requests. Let's sort this by votes, and you see that nearly all, so writer support. this was done because we did it because it got a lot of, one reason was because it got a lot of upvotes here. Also the other stuff what you see is completed is because of input from our community. The Visual Studio for Mac support is here at 5 votes. We are a small team with limited resources and we can't do everything. So we need to prioritize what we are doing first. And this is one input for us where we see what does the community need. So, and I'm completely honest here, it's quite down there. There's a lot of stuff before that. So yes, we get always this request, but please upvote this feature request. I don't understand me wrong. I want to do this, but it's too less input and too less requests from users that we can work on this, that we will push this up in the prioritization. I'm the last one who says no to it. I want that we do this. I think we need to do this, but we have a lot of other topics that our users think are more important, and we want to help. We want to build stuff that our users need. There are other stuff here, as you see, higher voted up. So please vote the heck out of this feature request. Then I can make a case for it with the team.
Cool, thanks for that, Andy. So the next question is from Steve. To confirm, if sharing with editing, 2 users making changes can overwrite each other's work?
Yes, the last one who pressed the save button wins.
There you go. The next question is from Santosh. Any plugins available to support Azure DevOps repo like GitHub?
This was write and edit Gherkin feature files directly from a Git repository. Not only GitHub, but Git repository. And Azure DevOps repos with Git and GitHub repos where it's only Git were the stuff where we did spikes and were quite positive, I think. So they are the ones that probably gets first support. So Azure DevOps repos, and if they are on Git, there will be no support for TFS version control system. Pretty sure. So Git repo. So Azure DevOps and GitHub will be pretty sure the first ones, and then let's see what other hosts of Git repositories we tackle next.
Cool, thank you. Next one's from Andre. Does the editor keep some change log to see who has changed what and a kind of version control?
No. No. The only thing what you see is last modified and who did the modification, but there is no change log. For this, not at the moment. If you would like to see such a feature, please create a feature request for it. History is a problem, so the reason why it's not there is it's simply you need to save every revision of this, and then you're getting quickly your database full, and then you need to think about removing unnecessary copies of the history log, and so on. It gets complicated. So this is the first. What you see is now the first step in evolution of the Gherkin editor. So from only in a website, now we have the one what also stores it on a backend service, and from that goes further. History and logs could be a next step, but for this first step it wasn't in the scope.
Next question from an anonymous attendee. Will there be an option to write comments in the future?
The question is which comments, because Gherkin has comments which work. Probably you mean comments when you save the file, or comments with notifications to it. Could you go a little bit more in detail what you mean with comment? What you mean with comment? Then perhaps I can answer better the question.
And there's just one more.
Yeah,
maybe not.
let's do this, and perhaps in the meantime the other one with the comment comes back to us.
Yep, no worries. So this one's, I guess, more about collaboration, not necessarily this tool, but is it okay to have no collaboration at all regarding the feature file?
Sure. Sure. If and I was there in this situation. If you want to use SpecFlow Gherkin files for writing it, but you don't have the backing or the support from the rest of the team, and you're doing simply for your own, then you have no collaboration on the feature files. But you still have the stuff for your own. You gain benefits for yourself to understand your scenarios. And in this situation, you have no collaboration. That's full okay. Not every team is a fan of BDD and Gherkin and SpecFlow and so on. Sadly, we're working hard on this to make it more clear what benefits you get with behavior-driven development and SpecFlow, but there are still some, and will be always people who don't see it. So you end with no collaboration. But the idea behind this all was collaboration, that you can create a shared understanding within your team and stakeholders and shareholders to have the same picture of how a feature should work. And that's why it's Gherkin, where you can write it in English to make this possible in a simple language and don't have to look on code or something and decipher it. You can describe it in plain English. So yeah, so that was the behind idea, but you get also a lot of benefits from it. So sure, it's as long as you get benefits out of it, use it, take it.
Yeah, exactly. I think from my previous experience, the issues can be, team related, cultural, but I think the online Gherkin editor will help alleviate some of that. Maybe non-technical people being scared to open an IDE or something of that nature. So this definitely helps, I think, and can help drive the agenda for collaboration, because it makes it a lot easier for those non-technical people to help. So.
Exactly, and that is one reason why we built this thing at the first place. Good.
That's it.
That's it. So no comeback with the comments. So if you have further questions, please reach out to us on Twitter, in the community forum, or somewhere else. And before we end it, we have one last cool thing for you to announce. Is we'll have end of August, September 1st, Given When Then with Style live webinar. So it's an interactive Gherkin webinar, so 2 days, 2.5 hours each, with Gojko Ercic about writing Gherkins. And you can already register at the link below. I try to paste it into the chat that you have it. So perhaps if you know, we had starting last year this Given When Then with Style blog series where Gojko went through common problems, pitfalls, issues when you write Gherkins, and this will be a 2-day live webinar, completely free. Register and join them. Cool. And yeah, with that, we say thank you for joining today. We hope you have a nice and happy rest of your day, or depending on where you are, it's more or less. For us, it's nearly the end, and we hope we see you soon in the next webinar. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.